New tires, Metzler, Cruise Techs. These are the same tires that come on the Indian Chieftain. We got Chieftain wheels. I started taking the bearings out. We got one right here. We got one old bearing that came out the other wheel right here. That thing is freaking crusty. The Super Chief Limited that these wheels are going on, also known as the giveaway bike. You guys should definitely enter over at Bicasso.com and get your entry to win this beautiful bike. These are the new bearings that are going in the wheels. This is a very special bearing that's also known as a toner ring bearing. On this Indian Chieftain wheel, you can see we have a toner ring right there. That is what gives us ABS. If you look even closer right in there, you can see the wheel speed sensor that reads that toner ring and helps detect the speed. Coming over here to this Victory Magnum, you can see the same thing, toner ring, and on the inside in there, it also has a wheel speed sensor to help detect speed. On Super Chief, we don't have that toner ring, but we do have the wheel speed sensor right here. So you might be wondering, what is it reading off of to detect speed and ABS? That is where this comes in. The toner rings, those little notches on the seal, behind that is the toner ring, and the magnets on the wheel speed sensor right here, it detects it off of that. So as this is turning, the magnets is reading this, and this is what gives us ABS and also the speed. Starting on the 2022 Indian Chief models, you're gonna have a toner ring bearing on the front and you're gonna have one on the rear. But non-ABS models, you're not going to have a wheel speed sensor in the front, but you do have one in the back. And that's how non-ABS models, they detect speed. ABS models, you're gonna have a wheel speed sensor in the front and the back. The plan is to take this toner ring bearing and put it inside of these Chieftain wheels that typically have toner rings. Being that these bearings are the exact same size as the Chieftain bearings, we can put these wheels on the Super Chief Limited or any Indian Chief and it will work just fine. So I've already gotten one of the bearings out last night. It was really difficult. And the way I did this, rather than use a slide hammer, I used a collet. So the way that this works, the collet slips inside of the bearing, and then you jam this fork inside of the collet expands, grabs the inner race, and then you flip the wheel over and you just basically hammer it out. So it takes less time than a slide hammer, and sometimes you have to do it multiple times, but you don't have to worry about doing this the entire time trying to slide hammer the thing out. So what we're gonna do is rig this up and go ahead and get it done. But I'll show you how I did this last night. Oops. No. All right, that didn't work. Dude, don't think it's moving, y'all. Socket with an impact, well, extension with an impact socket on it. I'm gonna try this. I'm hammering on the inner race. Ain't got no choice but to come out now. If I damage the wheel, I gotta be careful with that. Voila! Sometimes you just can't ask no more, bro. You just gotta go with it, bro. Just gotta go with it. Got it out. Typically, I don't use this option until the very last resort, which is what I was just getting tired of continuing to try. But this extension still works with my ratchet, no problem. But this impact is pretty much unscathed. But you typically cannot use this until you can get on the inside of the bearing to knock it out because you're gonna have that spacer in the way. So that is why I was able to slot this through and then go ahead and knock it out. So I'm gonna clean this up and then I'm gonna get the other wheel and do the same thing. What I'm doing right now is taking a Scotch-Brite pad and just cleaning up a little bit of rust and crust that's inside of this hub. We got this other one, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna put this straight through like that. Just gonna knock it out on the other side. And there's that. Ooh, that's crusty. I'm sure it probably rolls fine. Yeah, it does. But that, dude, that is crazy. We're gonna clean this up as good as we can. We're gonna knock these new bearings in. Okay, don't need this kit anymore. Pit Boss, I will leave a link down below where you can buy this kit. We're hammering in bearings now, so we're gonna use our bearing driver set. This is the right side of the wheel. So that means this bearing is gonna go in here, dust seal, so it's gonna go like that. Then on the other side, we do not use a dust seal. This toner ring bearing, and it's gonna go in like that. The way that this kit works, if you know the inner diameter of the bearing, cool. If not, you just find the one that matches, and then you get the adapter for it, all right? This is specifically designed for motorcycles, so I know that this is 20 millimeters. Then you get the one on the outside. You can see I've been using this one. Sit it on the top like that. Boom. Now you can hammer on the outer race. Won't be damaging the inner race, or not the inner race, but the inside right here. You don't want to hit that. So do that, and then this Allen is going to go up through the inside. I'm going to tighten it down with this, and we're going to hammer on the top of this, and it's going to lock the bearing in. Cool? Cool. So you got multiple ways to do these bearings. Some people freeze them. I like to just knock mine in. Tighten this thing up just a smidge. And now we have our tool. Slide it through the bearing, just like that. Grease the inside of this. There we go. Good to go, baby. Now we're gonna flip this on the other side. So this time we're gonna get the spacer. The spacer has to go in here. The seal. Same thing for this one. If anybody was curious where I got these bearings from, these are genuine Polaris parts. Here's the part number. I could not find an aftermarket version of this. This bearing was like 35 or 40 bucks. The Lowrider S has kind of the same thing in the front and the rear. Wheel speed sensor in the front and in the rear, and it has that toner bearing inside of the wheel. Could not find it for this bike either. So you have to buy it direct from Harley, and pretty much the same thing goes for Indian. So yeah, if you're doing these wheels, you might as well just pony up and spend that 35, 40 bucks. Not saying you can't find them, not saying that, but I spent quite a significant amount of time and I just went ahead and bought them. This one's completely flush against the hub. So now when I flip it, this thing's heavy. When we drop the spacer in, it's gonna be right where we need it. So when we hammer this bearing in, it's gonna be right at the correct distance. So then when we put the wheel speed sensor in, it'll line up correctly. Final result, wheel speed sensor sits in there just like that. As the wheel turns, it's going to calculate ABS and mileage information. For those of you that want to get this kit, Motion Pro bearing driver set, I'll leave a link down in the description. This is another essential part of my toolkit. This thing works. Oh, the tires again are Metzler Cruise Techs. We got a 130 in the front, and we're going to be running a 200 in the rear. Rim size, I think, is a 19 in the front and a 16 in the back. So should work, should be perfectly fine. And now it's time to get these things to the shop and get them mounted. All right, well, that was an utter fail. So the dealership that I used to get my tires mounted for like 40 bucks, they will not mount tires anymore unless you buy them from them instead, and they're claiming legality reasons. So I understand they have to make money too. I'm going to buy the tools to do this. I was planning on doing that anyway, which is why I have this rack with the broken wheels up there so I could practice. And we're gonna learn how to do this ourselves. It's gonna take a couple days, but I would not let that stop me from getting these wheels on this bike. It's gonna happen. It's gonna take just a few more days and some learning. All right, fam, it's been a couple days, got some stuff in the mail. Let me show you what I got, but it's time to get these wheels mounted to these tires, or at least I'm gonna try. Got the Bead Pro, rim protectors, valve core remover, and a balancer. All of this stuff is Motion Pro. I love these products. You do spend a little bit more money for them, but you don't have to think about something, in most cases, not working. This wheel is actually from my purple frame Chief, because that bike had front end impact. But you can see I already took the bearings out because I actually reused toner ring bearing, not for the Super Chief Limited, but I reused it for my purple frame Chief because that bearing was perfectly fine. And plus that bearing's 40 bucks. You line the teeth up on the edge of the valve core and you just twist and it pulls it out. So what's cool is I can reuse this, and also I can reuse this piece because this wasn't damaged. So once I get the wheel off, I can take this and put it on the shelf. There is a little O-ring behind here, but I'm gonna make sure that that's good. But this is probably one of the few things I can salvage from this entire wheel. And to put it back in, pretty much do the reverse. You slide it in there just like that, and you just literally twist it in until you snug it, and it's back in. I got these gloves on because this cast aluminum is broken and I don't want to cut my hands. Okay, it went kind of easy. Okay, making some progress, man. Okay, duplicate again. Gotta break the bead on this side, but this side's a little tricky. And slide them in there like that. You take the opposite end of this. Wow. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Your boy making some progress. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Now, you do it on this side. Same thing. Okay, let's see. So, assuming I put a rim protector in there, I should be able to come. Let's go from this side. The fact that this, there we go. Wow. Holy crap. This tire is gonna go on my shelf for a spare tire. Oh my goodness. So this is the result of a front end impact for 2022 Indian Chief. Hey, this wheel is for sale. If anybody wants it, you know, 3,100 mile wheel. It's got some miles on it, but you know, shoot me an offer, man. Only thing holding this on is a 12mm. I actually bought a set of these to put on the wheels for Purple Chief, but they were not the right size. But the cool part about that is, I have this one. I could technically, oh, that gasket is perfect. That O-ring, yeah, this thing's gonna get reused, folks. I have no use for that anymore, other than some type of showpiece. That was challenging, but I think I learned a lot to, I guess, take another one off, so it would be a little bit quicker. That took about 25 minutes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the Chieftain rear wheel because it has an old tire on it. It should be easier, but we'll see. Gotta get this valve car out. Remember? Let's get it. Spray the bead. Wet it up, baby. Wet it up. Here's to hoping it goes easy. Ooh. Ooh. I done bit off a little bit more than I can chew, y'all. I got teased with that first one. That wreck wheel, I got teased. Cause this 180 Dunlop with this thicker bead, this, shout out to all the people that change tires by hand. Bro, this is hard. I may have to get a machine to do this because I'm gonna destroy myself trying to get this. I can't even break the bead on this thing. I'm gonna keep going, but I finally started to kind of lift it up. Bro, this is hard. This is really hard. Oh, let's go. Let's freaking go with Pops. Let's go, baby. There's a light at the end of this freaking tunnel, baby. Let's go. Let's freaking go. I got momentum now. I got momentum now. I done found some energy now. Let's go. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm learning. I'm learning. Let's go. I'm learning. I'm freaking learning. Let's go, baby. I'm learning. I see why you need 3 spoons. I'm making progress, but I'm using 4 spoons. Sort of. Woo! I see why they say 3 spoons sometimes on thick wall tires. These things are okay for not super thick tires. So I started using cardboard. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's a lot better long than the other one was. All right. Oh. Have to give me a little bit of a refresher. Let's see, this might be my best point of attack right here. Don't worry about my eyes, y'all. I did scuff these wheels up on the inside, but you'll never see it. You know what? Duh. Go from this side. What am I doing? Maybe. No, because that's pulling it in, and I don't want to pull it in. I want to pull it out. I've decided, man, I can't do this. I can't get this off. I can manipulate this one a lot better than those thicker tires. Maybe I'll be able to find somebody to finish taking it off for me. My nearest cycle gear is over an hour away. I may have to do that. It means getting this done. This in there for a little bit. Heated the tire up. Probably not enough, not gonna lie to you. The arrow, so valve stem right there. Bruh, why can't the rear be this easy? Okay, let's see. Make sure I'm the lightest part still. Well, after an hour of work, my wife helped me figure this out, but I think I've not only damaged the wheel, but I've also damaged the bead. So I don't think this is actually gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. It's not holding pressure. All right, so it's been a few days after attempting to put those tires on myself without some type of machine. Yeah, it is super difficult, and I couldn't actually get the rim off of the second bead on that Dunlop tire. But since then, I've bought a Rabaconda, which is a manual tire machine, which works really well. I've been practicing on it, and I finally got that Dunlop tire I got it off using that machine. But right now, I have the heat gun being heating up one of the tires that's going on, so that should soften it up a little bit. But we're gonna try to get this tire on today and finally see if we can get some stuff mounted. So let's do it. Holy crap. That is loud, my guy. You don't get used to that. Holy crap. We're at 19 pounds, or 19 PSI. Oh, there's one. Gotta get two. There it is. We're good to go. I dismounted and mounted this tire on this wheel like 5 different times. So I'm pretty familiar with the process. The only issue I was having is I was unsure if the bead was sitting on the rim correctly, and all I needed to do was just add more air. I was under the impression 15 pounds would do it, or around that amount, but then I needed to add about 25 PSI to this tire for that bead to finally pop. The front one took about 19 to 20. So I honestly think that the wheel on the tire was fine the very first time. I just didn't add enough air. But either way, it gave me some time to learn this machine a little bit more, and I'm confident that if I had to do this again, I could do one tire within 10 minutes. So now it's just time to get them mounted, and of course clean up. Actually, no, I was wrong. I need to balance them first, and that's where this tabletop balancer is gonna come in. All right, it has not been easy, but it's almost time to get these wheels and tires on the bike. I still gotta get them balanced. We also gotta get the rotors installed, which I'll be taking from another set of wheels I have in the garage, and also taking one from one of the Chief wheels that's already on the bike. The Ford Ranger, it started misfiring. If you know, I use this truck to transport my bikes to and from inspections and anywhere I need them to go. So I've torn that truck apart to replace the valve spring seals. It's leaking from the top down on the spark plugs. They have oil on them. The fuel injector has oil on it. So that has been a process. But let's get these wheels balanced and figure out how we're gonna get this day finished. Sprocket, take this. Rotor, perfectly fine. Sit that there. Okay, old wheel weights are off. I need to clean this up a little bit. Take some thread locker. Okay. 6, done. I will be reusing these is because this rotor, these screws only have 500 and something miles on them. These are essentially brand new. So it just makes sense. Wheel weights, we have adhesive back steel wheel weights from Motion Pro. And also I'm gonna be using a balancer and truant stand from Motion Pro. All right. gonna mark like right there. I'm gonna spin it again. Give it a little persuasion to stop, not putting pressure on it, just to kind of, so it doesn't go back and forth, back and forth. I'm gonna start off with 3. Just gonna put them all here and I'm gonna tape them, and we're gonna do the same thing again. Turn it 3 o'clock. If it goes up, we need to add more. If it goes down, we added too much. All right, so we're gonna put that halfway. Let's see what happens. Still need more weight. Not as much though. Probably add 1 on each side. I think we might be good. Let's see. All right, I think that's pretty balanced. It took 5 on each side. $255 R16. This is for the rear tire. Gotta get the bike in the air because I need to take that wheel off and I need the rotor. Okay. I'll lift this up. Like this. Just hang it from there. 2. I like to use a mallet and a punch tool. It doesn't damage anything. I should have got my hammer, but just like that. And the wheel speed sensor. I really hope that whoever gets this bike, man, really hope you guys like it. I really do. Okay. Wheel speed sensor side. The rotor. All right. This wheel now and tire goes up here. Like that. I want to see if this thing's gonna be good on the first try before I take the old weights off. We do have the dot very close to the valve stem. I'm gonna sit it on this side right here. We got weights on both sides and it's not going anywhere. How far does it float up? It wouldn't hurt to add 1 more. I think it's fine. We're just gonna run this as it is, and if I feel something's off, I'll add more, but it looks fine. Good to go. Compact things, man. Works a lot in the garage. We don't have much space. Tire size for the front, 130/60 B19 with a 61H. Okay, now the plan is to get the rear wheel off, take the caliper bracket off, and take the axle out. We should be good, but I just need to mark where the alignment is on this side, and also for the belt, because I don't want to have to adjust this if I don't have to. Okay. Oh, I should have been a little bit more careful with that. That could have been bad. Take this. That's good enough. It ain't going nowhere. I want to say it's 4 full turns. Let's see, I took a Sharpie and just marked off so I can see the how many times I turn it. This side, same thing, Sharpie. This is what 1. This is the belt tension. 2. You see, it's getting very loose. 3. I'll keep doing this. Gonna hit that other piece is gonna drop on the other side. All right, locking nut and the alignment dial. Ah, grease. You're making my life easy, but a nightmare. Okay. There we go. Roll it forward. All right. Now the wheel can roll back. And it's out. Ooh, that was a little bit of a challenge. It's been a minute. Need you. All All right, sprocket. Need the dampeners. Okay. Goes like that. Woo! Big thud. I am hungry. Have not eaten today. Nothing in breakfast. We are going back with the 200, so I gotta be extra careful. All right, there's no weight on the front of the bike, so it's gonna be a little bit of difficulty. There we go. I gotta get this wheel speed sensor back in here. This can be a bit of a challenge, not gonna lie. This is always a challenge for me. There we go. There we go. Got it. Sit a little bit of weight on this thing. All right, 65 foot-pounds. Done. Oh, my arm. I still wanted to distribute the weight to the sides, but this thing is rated to hold, I think, 4 full-size car tires. So we've only got 3 rims up there and tires with the spares, so it can hold it. This is the rear alignment. You see it's off just a little bit. 3. That looks correct. Rolls freely. That's better. Caliper is on. 29 foot-pounds. Done. And this is the cool part. Wheel speed sensor. Slide that in there. Again. Lift up. There we go. I know you're probably wondering, Brandon, what are you gonna do about this? I have a spacer. I have a plan. Torque. Doesn't take much. Crank. One more crank. Done. Honestly, that's good. Okay. So these are torque to yield bolts, I think. Because I want you to stretch the bolt. Okay, done. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna get this spacer put on. Yeah, it was good. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a journey getting these wheels on here. Right. So the wheels are finally on. It did take me a lot longer than I expected to get that done, but that missing rotor slot, being that the Chieftain wheel uses 2 rotor slots and not 1 compared to the standard Chief. This is the spacer that's gonna fill that gap, and that is why I took the extra rotor off so I can use the screws to mount this to that wheel. But we're gonna split this off into the next video where we actually go for a ride on it, and I wanna show you guys this too. What this little device is, this is a TPMS activator, and what it does is if you have a TPMS sensor on a car, or in this case a motorcycle, it will actually activate this and allow the car or motorcycle to see it. I still left the TPMS sensors on the Chieftain wheels, which are now mounted to the Chief, which also has TPMS capabilities. So next time we're gonna test this out, you see if it will actually work. But also, do not forget the Super Chief Limited. It is a giveaway bike on this channel. This is how I raise money to do the stuff that I do. If you're interested, you can go over to BrandonBicasso.com. 50 bucks, get a sticker pack, and that would be your entry in to win this bike. This would be the second Indian Chief that I will have given away on the channel. I also gave away a 2013 B-Rod Muscle. The Super Chief Limited, not even 1,000 miles on it, fantastic bike, and of course we've added a few things to make it even better. So if you're interested, click this little link right here, go to my website and get entered to win. And of course, if not, I hope you learned something. I learned a lot in this process, and this is an ongoing process to continue to get better at this stuff. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.